Say, man, I want to welcome you to another episode of the Warzone and tell you thank you for taking time out to tune in because without you guys, I would not have a show. And I'm always grateful when you take the time out to hang out with the OG while I'm doing this show. I want to say thank you for some good people trusting me to sit on a advisory committee for the Oil and Gas Workers Association. I am an advisory board member now of the Oil and Gas Workers Association. And I'm grateful. Um Hold on a second, let's get this thing right. Um I really to hang out with them. Want to tell my teachers, you go back to school tomorrow, and I know it's a lot of information that we put out over the holidays. And I know that some of y'all are working in turmoil. And a lot of you good teachers are just going through it. A lot of you good administrators are just going through it. But God sees and hears everything. And help is on the way. Help is on the way. So I want to wish you, good luck with the rest of the school year. Um, hopefully you don't have to go through turmoil that much longer because you don't deserve to go through the things that you're going through. And nobody values our teachers until it seems like you don't have enough of them. Nobody respects our teachers until it seems like you don't have enough of them. And I think that's what school systems should really realize, that you're nothing without two things. You're nothing without good kids, and you're nothing without good teachers. So I know y'all in HISD, you go back tomorrow. If any one of y'all need my help, man, reach out to me. Don't let nobody scare you. You need to start speaking up because it's in a couple of months, it's going to be that time for them to start riffing you. Reduction in force. That means they're going to start trying to fire teachers who they basically claim are ineffective and they can't get these kids to learn and all the stuff that they lie and say. Well, I know that's a bunch of BS 98% of the time. I done represented enough of them to know that. So if you need my help, do not wait until the last minute. If you're being treated indifferently, if you are being targeted, there may be a reason for it that they plan on riffing you at the end of the year. So you might want to get in touch with me prior to that. And I know there are a lot of people out here that say they do what they do. I'm the best in the business. I'm the best in the business. So if you want to make sure that you're straight, then you give me a call before the last minute. And then we'll figure it out and we'll work it out. A lot of information has been shared this holiday season that we just passed through. A lot of information from the superintendent disrespecting special ed students to exposing the snakes in the buildings, getting rid of people wrongfully, not having justification for doing it, lying to the communities, all of this, cheating on the STAR test. And then last night I went through the dashboard to show you how they spent your ESSA money, the federal funds for COVID, and it is just a clear indication that these people don't know what they're doing. But see, those are federal funds. HISD, you listening because you like to listen in. Well, I want you to hear me. Those are federal funds. And you finna have some federal problems. The one thing I'm not finna sit here and tolerate is the misuse of funding for our children. More than enough money to take care of them and be able to do the things and accomplish the goals that need to be accomplished. But when you're saying that you spend X amount of dollars on tutors, and then I talk to multiple principals who say, ain't nobody spend no money on no tutors at our school. That becomes a problem for me. And I'm not going to deal with your federal problems. I'm going to let them federal people deal with your problems. So I don't know if you got a magic wand to start fixing shit. But the only way you can fix this, you're going to have to send that money down to the schools. So why don't you try sending it down as fast as you can send it? Because if you don't, you're going to have some real problems. Max Mall, you taking notes? Max, are you taking notes? Because you like to control the narrative. Am I correct? Max, you were never equipped to handle me. And that's not your fault. It's who's ever fault that told you, new guy on the block, that you could. Oh, see what I'm saying? People steady coming. Let me put Nicole's Campbell comment up. And we didn't get paid when we were out for COVID, and teachers are the tutors. They ain't doing tutors that come in. See what I'm saying? But yet they allocated X amount of money for tutors and say they spent it on tutors. So what schools did you spend it in? I'd love to know that, because you didn't. So Max, I understand, young man, that you really thought you were equipped to handle 5-star. But the reason they gave me this name, Max, is because when I have to, I will go to war for anything that's right. I will go to war for anything that's right. So I think a lot of people want to know, man, are you going to keep protesting every chance we get? Are you going back to the church every chance we get? And we're not going to stop. This is an embarrassment to the city of Houston that we even have to take it to this point, because one hard-headed Negro does not want to address the Black community. You got a problem coming down the third ward and addressing those parents and those kids and community members? Because you got to address all of it. You shouldn't have a problem. You live 5 minutes from Yates. Your child is on the Yates, but yes, she goes to Carnegie. But you have a problem addressing Black people because you feel that you are better than us. Well, my brother, you ain't. I know some fabulous Black people. I see my teammate. I want to send a shout out to him, Big Christopher Gardner on here. You know, if y'all need that Hustlers University gear, that Neiman Marcus gear, hook up with my boy Christopher Gardner. He take care of you. You got the prices on the low, and you're gonna get some quality stuff that ain't gonna fade and shrink on you and all that. He got Neiman Marcus and he got his own brand, which is Hustlers University. So you got this hard-headed Negro that don't want to listen. But now I'm finna cause you some federal problems, dude. I'm gonna give it to you in every facet of the game. And Max, I promise you, you ain't built for what I'm finna bring to the table. I don't speak with a forked tongue. don't just say anything. I mean what I say, and I say what I mean. And I'm going to do exactly what I say I'm going to do. One of the best days that I've seen in the Houston Independent School District in a long time was the day the feds showed up and they were walking out of there with boxes and boxes and boxes of stuff. And then later on that day, I saw them surround the house of the COO. They had helicopters, they had everything. Only thing I'm going to tell you, you finna have some problems. And all because a hard-headed Negro or whoever is advising him told him, don't pay no attention to Gary Monroe. Well, guess what? I'm a very handsome dude. And you don't get the right to ignore me. And when I'm ignored, I'll make you acknowledge me. And then when I make you acknowledge me, I'm going to drag you. You decided you would mess over special ed children. You decided you would mess over highly qualified principals, assistant principals, teachers, and you would just take these people's careers. And then you send Giovanni Ponce to do the dirty work. A guy who was a horrible principal at Jesse H. Jones High School. A guy who had other principals doing his work for him. And this the guy that has the right to tell somebody that they qualified or not to be a principal? I think not, dude. What I'm working on in 2023 is to be just as effective as I am every single night and try to eliminate the cuss words. Because I really want to cuss your ass out with everything in my power. You will not stifle me. You will not silence me. You don't scare me. You can't lie on me. None of the tricks that you normally use, you can use on Gary Monroe. I like war. I like to battle. And in the best interest of these kids, I don't need permission to do it. I'm going to continue to do me every single day of the week. So guess what? Superintendent House. That's what I'll call you for the moment because I don't think you'll have the tag very long. By the time I finish with you, brother, you ain't gonna get a job nowhere in the country. Not as a superintendent. You might go, finesse them at a charter school. But in a regular school district, I'm gonna tank your career like you did all them good people. Remember what y'all tried to do to Reggie Bush? I'm gonna give it to you. Remember what you did to Tiffany Guillory? I'm gonna give it to you. I want you to feel like they're feeling. I want you to feel what it feels like not knowing if all the years that you worked, if your career is in limbo. I want every one of y'all in there that's sitting at cabinet meeting to think, let's just overlook this dude. Because you are about to have some federal problems. And hopefully A whole bunch of y'all go to jail for what you've done. Hopefully, you are dumb enough to try to fix anything that you think I don't know. You can't fix these problems, dude. You can't fix them. So all I want to do is to make sure, just like those people that you messed over, that you have sleepless nights. I want to make sure that when your phone rings, you don't know if you're being called down to turn yourself in or what. I want you to be on pins and needles now. And I'm telling you, Rick Cruz can't handle me. Sean Bird can't handle me. Denise Watts can't handle me. And Millard, you were never even born to handle me at all. When it's all said and done, our reputation will be judged, but one day. But our character will be judged for a lifetime. I'm not going to hang out with y'all too long. I got some work to do. And I promise you, I'm finna give it to y'all, bro. I'm finna give it to y'all, man. More than what you could ever imagine. This wasn't a fight. But just know, you have more than enough time to resign and get up out of here. But if you don't, I got a strange feeling you'll get indicted. House, you don't even know what I'm talking about because you don't run the day-to-day of HISD. You don't know what these cronies up under you do on a daily basis at all. You don't know any of that. You never had the knowledge to pull this off. You never had the knowledge to pull this off. And not only am I going to drag you in Houston, I'm going to drag you in Austin. You know, I hang out in the educational committee in Austin. I go to other committee rooms because there's other bills that I want to fight for, but I like hanging around that education committee. See if we can get some felonies added to the law books for school administrations that misappropriate federal money. Because that's what needs to happen. Sleep easy. You're not going to sleep hard. You're not going to rest very well. But Negro, if you think you're going to come to Houston and rob these kids blind and get up out of here like ain't nothing happened, you better pull a Carranza. Just leave and they don't owe me nothing. I think that's what you ought to do. But if you don't, you ain't gonna have to worry about going over there on Dixie Drive no more. Your people gonna have to drive to Huntsville. And if you don't know what that is, that's the state penal system. I said what I said, and it is what it is. It's the war zone. And I'm the 5-star.